Now, let's go live to Goa, where the closing ceremony of the National Games is on, and here we see PT Usha addressing.
This grand celebration of sports, held right here in the picturesque state of Goa, has left an indelible mark in the annals of Indian sports history. This year's National Games have been truly exceptional in every sense. We witnessed a remarkable display of talent, dedication, and passion, with a record-breaking number of 43 sports being contested, surpassing the average of 36 in previous editions. This expansion of sporting disciplines not only demonstrates the growth and diversity of sports in our nation, but also offers our athletes an even broader stage to showcase their abilities. Behind the scenes, there is an unsung army of heroes who have worked tirelessly to ensure in making these games grand success. The GTCC and NGOC have worked diligently to make sure that every event runs smoothly, adhering to the highest standards of professionalism and fairness. Their dedication and meticulous planning have been instrumental in ensuring that the games were a true spectacle for all to enjoy. I must also acknowledge the contribution of Sri Amitabh Sharma, Executive Council Member of Indian Olympic Association and the Chairman of the GTCC, who has been the guiding force behind the scenes. His commitment to the cause of sports has been truly commendable. Furthermore, we owe the debt of gratitude to the government of Goa, which has extended unparalleled support throughout the event. Their vision and commitment to promoting sports have been instrumental in making these games a reality, and their hospitality has made every participant feel at home in this beautiful state. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to the State Olympic Association, National Sports Federations, coaches, and all the support staff who have worked tirelessly to prepare our athletes for this competition. Your dedication and hard work are the driving force behind the success of our sporting endeavors. Of course, we cannot forget the true stars of this event, the athletes. Your countless hours of training, your resilience in the face of adversity, and your unwavering determination have been nothing short of inspirational. You have made our nation proud with your performances, and you are the embodiment of the Olympic spirit. As we bid adieu to the 37th National Games in Goa, we eagerly anticipate the next chapter in this remarkable journey. I am delighted to announce that the 38th National Games will be hosted by the beautiful state of Uttarakhand. The finalized date for the exciting event will be announced soon, and we look forward to your continued support and participation. In closing, let us remember that the success of these games is a testament to what we can achieve when we come together as a nation, united by our love for sports. These games have exemplified the power of sports to unite, inspire, and push the boundaries of human potential. As we live...
I saw another. Okay, go ahead, John. Microphone, please.
So that was the closing ceremony of the National Games underway in Goa. And now let's go live to New Delhi, where the weekly MEA, Ministry of External Affairs briefing is on.
Could you repeat the first part? The two governments are in contact, you said.
Yes.
About expanded number of?
Expanded number of Indian workers.
Okay.
Can you confirm this?
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, please. Microphone.
Sir, Ayushi Gwal from ANI. Sir, will there be a representation from India in the upcoming oath-taking ceremony of the President-elect of Maldives on 17th November? Since there were reports of Maldives inviting inviting our Prime Minister to visit Male.
Okay. Do you want more question? No, sorry, I saw your hand first. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Samir Hussain with BBC. Anthony Blinken is going to be coming to visit off the heels of a visit from the Middle East. How much will the Middle East be a part of the talking points at the 2+2? And do you expect to talk about Canada at all?
Okay. Let me take these round of questions. And anybody has a follow-up on this instead of coming back to it? Yeah, go ahead. Microphone.
सर मैं विशाल हूँ जी न्यूज से। कतर की तरफ से क्या जजमेंट की कॉपी भारत को मुहैया कराई गई है जो हमारे भारतीयों को मौत की सजा सुनाई गई है, और क्या कोई अपील मंजूर हुई है अभी तक?
Okay. Any other ones on this? On Qatar, anything else? I know that's a topic you've been asking me. Okay, if not, let me start with President-elect. I think that was Ayushi, your question. We have received an invitation for Prime Minister to attend that. I'll let you know once we have a decision on who would represent us and what capacity. As of right now, I don't have any further information to share on that. But yes, we have received an invitation. Samira, on the issue of discussions, yes, as you know, the 2+2 is tomorrow. I think Secretary of Defense, U.S. Secretary of Defense has just landed, and we're expecting Secretary Blinken a little later in the evening. Tomorrow is there. I'm not going to try to prejudge the conversations. I guess, considering the nature of our relationship and the strategic, global strategic partnership, a variety of issues are discussed, including topical issues, regional developments. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I certainly wouldn't like to prejudge it. On Canada, if they wish to discuss, we are happy to discuss all issues. But again, I wouldn't have a position yet. Let's wait for tomorrow. We will try to update you what actually transpires. John, you had a query on Israel and India. Look, I'm not sure if specific conversations or requests. I saw some reports of 100,000 workers replacing other workers there. I haven't heard any of those things. I'm not aware of any specific figure or request. But since you asked on the larger topic, as you are aware, we have been working with towards giving our citizens access to the global workplace. You heard External Affairs Minister talk about this issue. In this regard, we have been in discussion on trying to get into mobility agreements with a number of countries. Such frameworks or agreements ensure that our people are treated fairly, their rights are protected, and they are not discriminated against. In fact, if you remember just now, External Affairs Minister was in Italy, and an understanding was concluded then. With Israel, there are already a number of Indian workers employed there, especially in the caregiver sector. Since, I think, 2022, we have been discussing a bilateral framework in the construction and caregiver sectors. But this is a long-term initiative, and I'm not, as I said, aware of any specific requests or numbers that have been floating around. So that's what I would like to mention here. शैलेंद्र, आपका प्रश्न था जो क्रॉस बॉर्डर फायरिंग के बारे में, आपने इसी में पूछा था कि आज में इनफैक्ट आज कुछ इंसिडेंट आज का भी है. देखिए, हमने ऐसे जो इंसिडेंट्स होते हैं, हम रेगुलरली इनको ऐसे सीज फायर वायलेशंस जो होती हैं और क्रॉस बॉर्डर इन्फिल्ट्रेशन की जो घटनाएं होती हैं, कभी ड्रोन से या फायरिंग से, ये हमारे जो बायलैटरल एग्रीमेंट्स हैं इसका उल्लंघन है, और हम इनको पाकिस्तान के साथ हम इसको हमेशा उठाते हैं और इसको हम टेकअप करते हैं. और ये जो रिसेंट इंसिडेंट्स हुई हैं, आज वाले का बात कह नहीं सकता हूं, बट जो भी रिसेंटली हुई थी, जो बीएसएफ ने पाकिस्तानी साइड के साथ फ्लैग मीटिंग्स में इसको इनका इशू टेकअप किया है, और डिप्लोमेटिक चैनल्स के जरिए भी हमने ये मुद्दा उनके सामने रखा हुआ है. विनीत, आपका प्रश्न था कतर के बारे में. देखिए, इसके बारे में हम जैसे आपको बताए जा रहे हैं, एक कोर्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस होता है कतर में, जिन्होंने 26 अक्टूबर को जजमेंट दिया था। ये 8 इंडियन एम्प्लॉइज जो थे अल दारा कंपनी के। जजमेंट कॉन्फिडेंशियल है और सिर्फ लीगल टीम के साथ शेयर किया गया है। वो अब अगला लीगल स्टेप्स जो हैं उसके बारे में उस पर जांच कर रहे हैं। एक अपील फाइल की गई है विशेष रूप से भी, और क्या लीगल स्टेप्स, और उनका लीगल, मुझे जितना दूर मालूम है उनका अपील फाइल हो गया है। और हम भी कतरी अथॉरिटीज के साथ इस मामले में संपर्क बनाए हुए हैं। 7 नवंबर को हमारी एम्बेसी को एक और राउंड ऑफ कॉन्सुलर एक्सेस मिली, जो हम मिले 8 लोगों से, और हम उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स के साथ भी कांटेक्ट में हैं। पिछले हफ्ते या इसी महीने के पहले थोड़ा विदेश मंत्री जी ने उनके फैमिली मेंबर से यहीं दिल्ली में मुलाकात की थी, और हम जितना हो सके लीगल और काउंसिल असिस्टेंस हम उनको देते रहेंगे। मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि ये मामला बहुत ही संवेदनशील नेचर का है, ताकि स्पेकुलेशन में बिल्कुल शामिल न हो। मैं ये फिर दोहराने का अनुरोध करूंगा। कानूनी और काउंसिलर मदद जो भी हम सहायता दे सकते हैं हम देंगे। I know this question was interested, so if I could give an English version of it, I know there was a lot of query. As we had informed earlier, the Court of First Instance of Qatar passed a judgment on October 26 in the case involving 8 Indian employees of Al Dara Company. The judgment is confidential and has only been shared with the legal team. They are now pursuing further legal steps, and I think an appeal has already been filed. We will also remain engaged with the Qatari authorities in this matter. On November 7, we received, our embassy in Doha received another consular access to the detainees. We are in touch with their family members too. And as you recall, External Affairs Minister met the family members earlier this month in New Delhi. We will continue to extend all legal and consular support. And I would urge everyone not to engage in speculation considering the sensitive nature of the case. If I could, एक आप विशाल, आपका भी प्रश्न इसी से जुड़ा हुआ था। Okay, next question. Somebody else had a hand up. I didn't pick up. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
If I
Hasani, if you could introduce your record.
Oh, sorry. This is Suhasini Heather from The Hindu. I had one question and a follow-up. The question is about the plans for a Voice of Global Summit, as well as the G20 virtual summit later this month. I wanted to just get a sense of how many countries you're expecting will attend at the leadership level for both, and particularly in the G20. Are we expecting the leaders who weren't able to make it for the G20 summit to come for the virtual one, specifically, of course, the presidents of Russia and China? So that's my question. And the follow-up was about Israel as well. You said you didn't want to prejudge what we might discuss with the US Secretary of State, but just wanted to get a specific comment on whether India is calling for a ceasefire from the Israeli side of its bombardment of Gaza.
You mean in the context of what? In the context of tomorrow's conversation or a general?
No.
So it's not a follow-up, a general question.
Because we had seen your statement on the UNGA.
No, I agree. So it's not nothing to do with the 2+2 tomorrow. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Who had a hand up? Yeah. No. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry, aapka bhi?
Sputnik India. My question is about the Prime Minister Modi has been, speaking to West Asian leaders, including the Iranian president, who has urged India to extend, implement a humanitarian pause. And so, what's India's stance on that, sir?
Okay. On humanitarian pause. Yeah. Okay. I saw a hand here. Yes, please go ahead. एक मिनट, उनके पहले माइक उनके पास।
Sir, Rishabh from Times Now. Sir, there are reports about a court judgment in Australia for our former High Commissioner Navdeep Suri about him underpaying the house help or a staff, and he has been asked to pay about $136,000 as a remuneration to the lady. Can you explain what exactly happened and what how does India see it?
माइक्रोफोन उसके बिना सुना नहीं देगा आपको।
सर, हम रविंदर सिंह रॉबिन। आज करतारपुर कॉरिडोर के 4 साल पूरे हो गए हैं सर, और 5,000 की बनस्पत 200 के करीब एवरेज श्रद्धालु वहां पे जा रहे हैं। इंडिया की डिमांड और लोगों की डिमांड रही कि $20 कि फीस कम की जाए और पासपोर्ट की शर्त कम की जाए। इसके ऊपर पाकिस्तान का अभी तक कोई जवाब आया
जी नहीं, प्रश्न क्या था?
External Affairs weekly briefing. It happens on Thursday, and the spokesperson addressing the queries on multiple issues. Of course, the upcoming 5th annual US-India 2+2 ministerial dialogue that will happen on Friday in India's national capital, New Delhi. Let's tell you a little bit more about the 2+2 ministerial dialogue in India's national capital, New Delhi. It kickstarts on the 10th of November. The dialogue will be attended by US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has landed in New Delhi a short while ago, and this dialogue takes place amid ongoing international conflicts between Ukraine and Russia and in Israel and Hamas, which has a bearing on strategic dynamics and global outlook of both nations. Now, DD India's Jessica Taneja has more details.
Every year, the 2+2 ministerial dialogue brings together India's foreign and defense ministers with their US counterparts to address and collaborate on common concerns to enhance and strengthen relationship between the two nations. Over the years, America has offered strong bipartisan support to India. From making it a major defense partner in 2016 to holding Quad meetings at the leaders level. For a non-treaty ally, America has made a significant change in its policy. With India-US trade likely to touch $300 billion in 2026 and 27, the ministerial dialogue helps in promoting forums like G20, the Quad, and IPEF, or the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. For America, India is also an important ally for its free and open Indo-Pacific strategy. The 2+2 ministerial dialogue has seen some great momentum over the years. The signing of Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, or the LEMOA, in 2016, the signing of COMCASA, or the Communications Compatibility and Security Agreement, in 2018, along with the Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement, or the BECA, in 2020. Not only was signing COMCASA and other important pacts in the foundational years a big step, but providing waivers to India from Russia sanctions was a significant advancement in the relationship. In fact, 5 years ago, India was given the Strategic Trade Authorization status for transfers of some dual-use high-technology trade. While these deals are good signs of convergences, looking at the current momentum, further framework for overcoming hurdles on regulation of technology, digital economy, few matters of global governance have also been put in place now. Jessica Taneja for DD India.
Now, speaking on the 5th India-US 2+2 ministerial dialogue, the principal deputy spokesperson of the US Department of State, Vedant Patel, said that the meet will focus on deepening security cooperation between the two countries, among other issues. We are getting fresh inputs. Let's go back to the MEA presser in New Delhi.
Individual, look, on consular issues, usually I would, I would be hesitant to comment too much on this. But let me just say, since you asked a specific, broader context, a service staff of the High Commission of India in Australia, in Canberra, willfully deserted her employment post in May 2016, one day before her scheduled departure back to India. She was holding an official passport and was on an Australian diplomatic visa. Since then, we have repeatedly requested Australian authorities to locate and repatriate her to India. We have learned that she has made allegations against the then High Commissioner, and an ex parte judgment has now been issued by an Australian court. I think you were referring to that. Let me reiterate that we reject any locus standi of Australian authorities to adjudicate on matters concerning such India-based service staff of the High Commission. Any grievance that she may have has to be suitably addressed only in India. Her conduct and false representations give rise to suspicions that all this has been motivated by a desire to permanently stay in Australia, and in which she seems to have succeeded. We are also concerned by the ex parte court judgment. We are taking up the matter with the Australian authorities. We would urge Australia to uphold its obligations under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, particularly in relation to diplomatic immunities and privileges. I don't want to get into specifics of the persons. रॉबिन जी, आपने कहा करतारपुर कॉरिडोर, आप जानते ही हैं इसमें हम इस विषय पे हम कितने अहमियत देते हैं. हमने पासपोर्ट, ये $20 की जो फ़ीस है, इसको हटाने का या हटाने का हमने प्रस्ताव भी दे रखा है। पासपोर्ट की ज़रूर जो है उसके लिए भी हमने रखा है। हम इसको दोहराते रहते हैं पर अभी तक हमारे पास कोई अपडेट ऐसा नहीं आया। हम जानते हैं कि इससे दिक्कतें होती हैं और हम इसको ये हमारी जो रिक्वेस्ट है इसको हम फिर से दोहराएंगे। नीरज जी, आपका प्रश्न था एक स्टूडेंट जो अभी आई थिंक आज गुजर गए हैं, बहुत दुख भरी इंसिडेंट है। हमारी काउंसलर उनके साथ कांटेक्ट में थे, उनके फैमिली और फ्रेंड्स हैं जो वो ऐसे केसेस पे हम लोकल अथॉरिटीज़ से ज़रूर डिस्कस करते हैं। कल इसकी चर्चा होगी या नहीं मैं कह नहीं सकता हूँ। जैसे मैंने कहा इसको प्रीजज नहीं करना चाहिए क्या डिस्कस होगी, पर हम अमेरिकी जो लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट अथॉरिटीज़ हैं उनसे ज़रूर बात करते हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे जो नागरिक हों या इंडियन कम्युनिटी के लोग हैं उनको सुरक्षा रहे। और पूरा डिटेल मुझे है नहीं कि इस घटना का किस तरह से हुआ, कैसे हुआ, पर यह बहुत दुख भरी दुखद घटना है। Okay, last round of questions perhaps. Once again, you had a hand up. Yes.
Sir, I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. There were reports that India may start buying oil from Venezuela. So will this issue come up tomorrow during the 2+2? And my second question is
okay. Why? Okay, you are in the context of US sanctions.
Yes.
Okay.
And Minister Lekhi is in South America. She's visiting Paraguay and
Ecuador.
So what is the outcome of those visits? If there is, because there's hardly anything coming.
No? Okay. I'm surprised. Okay, no, I saw one hand up before that. Yes, sir. At the back, yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Emerson from Central News Agency of Taiwan. You mentioned about labor mobility agreements a few moments ago. Do you have any updates on the negotiation of labor mobility agreements between Taiwan and India?
Okay.
When will it be signed? Thank you.
Okay. Who had it? Yeah, Pia. I'll come back.
Hi, Pia with the print. Will PM Modi be attending the APEC summit, and if not, which official will be participating instead?
Okay. Who had a question? Yeah, please. Yeshi. I'll come to you.
This is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. The founder of Six for Justice, Pannu, has had issued a statement saying that if asking Sikhs not to take the Air India flight on November 19th from Canada, and he's also said that Delhi airport would be closed. And he's so has MEA taken this up, and how seriously are you taking his threat?
Yeah.
So I have the same question with what Yeshi asked.
If you introduce yourself.
Abhishek Jha from CNN News 18. My only question is, adding to that, is whether India has raised the issue with Canadian and US officials, because it has a clear threat of probably bombing the aircraft of the Air India or something.
Okay. There was one more hand up. Yes, ma'am.
This is Rita from news agency ANSA, Italy. Any update about the story of the baby Arisha in foster care?
Could you repeat again?
Baby Arisha.
Aria, okay.
Yeah, in Germany. Arisha?
Okay. Baby in Germany. I do. Okay. Okay. If there are no further questions, let me just end with this one. Look, on the threats by against on flights, Air India flights. Look, we strongly condemn such terrorist threats. I do not wish to get into details, just gives visibility to that. We have been engaged with foreign governments on the activities of radical and terrorist elements that have been inciting violence and intimidation of our leadership, of our diplomats. We will continue to press these governments to deny space to such extremist elements. Let me limit it to that. We will certainly take necessary security measures against that. हिंदी में आपका प्रश्न तो एनीवे अच्छा उनका प्रश्न था। देखिए, ऐसे आतंकवादी थ्रेट्स को हम कड़ी निंदा करते हैं। ऐसे रेडिकल और आतंकवादी एलिमेंट्स की गतिविधियों पर संबंधित जो फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट्स हैं उनके साथ बातचीत कर रहे हैं, और जो हमारी लीडरशिप और हमारे डिप्लोमेट्स के खिलाफ हिंसा और ऐसे डराने धमकाने के लिए उकसाते रहते हैं। हम ऐसे एक्सट्रीमिस्ट एलिमेंट्स को जगह नहीं मिले इसके लिए ये आग्रह करते रहते हैं फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट से। और सिक्योरिटी के मामले में हम जो मेजर्स लेना है वो तो बाकी एजेंसी ले ही रही हैं, पर मैं और कुछ कहना नहीं चाहता हूँ क्योंकि ऐसे फिर इनको ज़्यादा विजिबिलिटी भी देना नहीं चाहता हूँ मैं। Mr. Emerson, your query was on the issue of mobility agreements. I mentioned to you how we look at these, how these help us. Yes, there are discussions going on. I'm afraid I can't put a time frame on it. Negotiations by their very nature tend to do not have a finite timeline, but we hope that this would be concluded at an early date and that these help the people concerned who are looking to take benefit of this mobility partnership. On the issue, Huma, on Venezuela, I think we discussed this earlier. We have repeatedly said that we would be guided by our, our oil imports or our energy imports would be guided by our energy security requirements. If you have any specific details they're looking for, of course, I would refer you to the relevant ministry. As regards taking it up tomorrow, look, let's not prejudge it. I can't comment in advance whether it will happen. You asked about Ecuador. Honorable Minister of State Meenakshi Lekhiji is, of course, had gone. She's also going to Netherlands after that. We have been trying to issue a press release after each segment of the visit, and we will certainly do that. Let me not comment on it while the visit is still underway. So we will try to update you as the visit progresses, or each segment or each leg is completed. Pia, I don't have any update on that. I doubt very much that it will be attended at the Prime Minister level. But again, these things, till it happens, I can't confirm. I understand we'll have ministerial representation, but let it be announced formally. We will come back to you when that is done. On the issue of baby in Germany, look, this is an issue that we have been tracking. We have been requesting that her rights as an Indian, her rights and cultural rights, particularly her ability to be raised in an Indian context, be protected. We have been taking it up on a regular basis. We had access, and I think we briefed some time ago that we got consular access, and some gifts and other elements were provided to her. In fact, I probably have some details of that conversation. I don't have an immediate update this week, but this is something that we continue to follow. The consular access, in fact, is on August 31st, and that interaction included elements of cultural immersion with a view to enable the child to remain connected with Indian traditions and culture, which we think is important. We remain in constant engagement with German authorities on the matter to safeguard the child's cultural and national identity and rights, and to ensure her return to India. Thank you very much. Sorry, Kallol, you should put your hand up then. I thought we closed. Okay, last quick question. I think we're running behind time.
Well, there has been a crackdown on the opposition in Bangladesh after the October 28th rally. Some of the top leaders, including the General Secretary of the biggest opposition party, BNP, is in prison. And one of the standing committee members who spoke to us when he was visiting Delhi said that India has not yet issued a statement which can actually promote free and fair election in Bangladesh. And on that count, they're kind of disappointed. So I would like to sort of ask you, what is really India's position on the Bangladesh government putting opposition leaders in jail?
Okay. Let me preface my answer by saying the characterization of all of those elements is your words, not mine. Crackdown, jailed opposition leader, etc. are your interpretation. Please don't ascribe them to me. We do not want to comment on the policy of any third country. Elections in Bangladesh, as I've said, are a domestic matter for them. It is for the people of Bangladesh to decide their own future. As a close friend and partner, we respect the democratic process in Bangladesh, and we will continue to support Bangladesh's vision of a stable, peaceful, and progressive nation. So that would be my response to whatever you said. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Good evening.
So that was the weekly press briefing by spokesperson Arindam Bagchi. Let's now put the Friday's 5th India-US 2+2 dialogue in some context. We are joined by former senior diplomat on the show, Prabhu Dayal now. Sir, it is the 5th 2+2 ministerial meeting that will happen tomorrow in New Delhi. We've seen how India and the US have come some distance in defense and technology collaborations. How are you viewing these talks?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on your show. As I look at this matter, I think that the ministers will reaffirm the importance which they attach to the continuity of the 2+2 ministerial dialogue, and they will reaffirm the India-US comprehensive global strategic partnership. Now, I may mention that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Joe Biden have had quite a few discussions this year in which they have tried to put across the contours of the futuristic roadmap for the India-US partnership. You would recall that they had discussed this matter during Prime Minister's visit to the US in June, and then President Biden's visit to India in September for attending the G20 meeting. So the importance of the India-US partnership, which is a comprehensive global strategic partnership, will be emphasized during the 2+2 talks. Now, it is very evident that the contours may not be disclosed and made public yet, but surely India and the United States will discuss defense technology transfer and, of course, co-production, which is very important from our point of view. They will discuss strategic technology collaborations, even nuclear cooperation, and, of course, other issues such as people-to-people ties. So the ambit of the discussion will be very wide, but I'm sure that the focus will be on strengthening the comprehensive global strategic partnership. Now, because of the timing of this meeting, there are a whole host of other issues which would also be discussed. For instance, China and its expansionism, both economic expansionism and territorial expansionism, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region. And of course, we confront Chinese expansionism across our borders all the time. And the context of Quad cooperation may also be under focus. Of course, there are other geopolitical issues which are extremely important, such as the Israel-Hamas war and the Ukraine-Russia war, which are impacting the global scenario in a variety of ways. For instance, issues like energy security, food security, supply chains, all these are being impacted by these developments. So I'm sure that the 2+2 dialogue will focus on these issues also.
Okay. Now, a key outcome of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the United States in June was the MOU signed by the GE and the HAL for manufacture of fighter jet engines in India. Could its implementation be discussed?
I'm sure that the progress which is being made in regard to the implementation of this agreement will be discussed. And if there are any roadblocks, surely they will be discussed, of course, in a confidential manner, because I'm sure that we don't want everything to come into the public domain, because there may be certain issues which may need to be sorted out. So the importance of this issue is such that it is very likely to be discussed. Of course, what will be the nature of the discussions will depend on what the existing scenario is and what the two sides consider as important to focus on.
Okay, request you, Mr. Dayal, to stay with us. Let's give our viewers some more news related to tomorrow's 2+2 ministerial dialogue. Speaking on the 5th India-US 2+2 ministerial dialogue, the principal deputy spokesperson of the US Department of State, Vedant Patel, said that the meet will focus on deepening security cooperation between the two countries, among other issues. Let's listen in.
India is a country that we have a deep partnership. This, of course, he'll be going for the 2+2 security dialogue with Secretary of Defense Austin. So I expect, of course, that deepening the security cooperation and partnership will be one of the many topics that are discussed. It was something that was obviously raised during Prime Minister Modi's state visit earlier this year. And I know the Secretary looks forward to being there and in engaging directly with his counterparts on this. But I'll let the trip take place before we talk more about it.
So these talks 2+2, as we are reporting to you, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin III has landed in New Delhi, and we expect U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to also arrive in New Delhi sometime later tonight. And we are now joined by DD India's Jessica Taneja. Jessica, yes, we are discussing about this 5th 2+2 ministerial meeting in New Delhi tomorrow. Would this be an opportunity for both the countries to take stock of the existing relationship and plans for future?
Well, absolutely, that is what it will be. This is the 5th edition of the India-US 2+2 dialogue. And this time around, we've seen heightened activity. If you recall, just a month ago in September, the G20 concluded with a successful Delhi declaration. And much before that, even earlier in January, the meeting between the two NSAs, of course, again, bolstered the ties between the two nations. What we're expecting tomorrow from the meeting and the discussions and the deliberations that are going to take forward would be on security cooperation and how to further enhance activity and, of course, predominantly working on the Indo-Pacific strategy. That is what America has been focusing on, and in India, it sees as a crucial partner for that.
Jessica, is there a likelihood that India-Canada ties come up for discussion in the Jaishankar-Blinken bilateral on the sidelines, considering that even US has weighed in with its views on it in the past?
Well, we have seen the kind of tensions that have revolved around the India-Canada issue of late. And this question was, in fact, posed to the MEA spokesperson, who did say that nothing has been ruled out. But, of course, he would not go ahead and preempt it. But we heard from the MEA spokesperson who said that they're happy to discuss the Canada issue if it comes up. So we'll have to wait and see tomorrow exactly as to what comes out from the agenda and the talks.
Yes, Jessica, and as we were discussing with Prabhu Dayal a little earlier, West Asia conflict is dominating global discourse. How do you see it? Could that figure in talks?
Well, absolutely, because this forum also provides an opportunity for discussing various global issues and, of course, taking more preemptive discussions forward. And Middle East crisis, of course, certainly would dominate, as it has all over the world. And with the discussions tomorrow with both the defense minister and the foreign minister and their counterparts, this issue will obviously likely to come up. But we don't know exactly what is on the discussion when it comes to this. But certainly, the Middle East crisis is something that will be discussed for sure.
Right. Thank you, Jessica, for being with us. Let's go back to Prabhu Dayal ji. Prabhu Dayal ji, yes, this Middle East crisis is actually dominating global discourse. The situation is evolving by the hour. And, well, as we speak, the Paris conference on Gaza is also on. And Emmanuel Macron earlier today said that a humanitarian pause in the conflict is necessary. So how do you see that? Will that be an important topic of discussion tomorrow between the two sides?
Certainly, it could be a very important topic for the discussions. There is no doubt that the Israel-Hamas war, together with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, presents huge challenges to the international community. And the United Nations has proved ineffective in handling this situation. As you mentioned, there is this meeting taking place.
Request you, Mr. Dayal, to please hold your thoughts. We are going back to Goa here, where National Games closing ceremony is on and the Vice President of India is addressing.
गोएम आशा तैयार, हम तैयार हैं. 15 दिन के अंदर they have vindicated in every second. They are achievers और ये तय करते हैं जुड़ेंगे, जिएंगे, जीतेंगे. My congratulations to the youthful young minister, chief minister, and a very passionate, fiery sports minister. जब श्री गोविंद गोडे जी अपना भाषण दे रहे थे, कंपन महसूस हो रहा था. एक नई ऊर्जा का संचार हो रहा था. The man had put his heart, soul and mind to achieve this day. President of Indian Olympic Association, distinguished member of Rajya Sabha, Srimati P.T. Usha ji. नाम काफी है, आगे बोलने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। जब भारतीय संसद ने इतिहास रचा 21 सितंबर को और 3 दशक के बाद कई बार असफल प्रयासों के बाद तो नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम पारित हुआ, वीमेन रिजर्वेशन बिल पारित हुआ, राज्यसभा में कुर्सी को सुशोभित कर रही थी पीटी उषा जी। मैंने जो नजारा देखा है वो एक बहुत बड़ा संकेत है। मैंने जितनी इनामें यहां दी हैं उनमें 2/3 महिला हैं। हमने तो रिजर्वेशन 1/3 दिया था, स्पोर्ट्स में तो 2/3 इन्होंने ले लिया। ये बदलते हुए भारत की तस्वीर है और इसका चित्रण गोवा में हो रहा है। पर इस सब के पीछे एक बहुत बड़ी सोच है कि 3 दशक के बाद 2014 में देश को एक मजबूत सरकार मिली, पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार। मेरे युवा साथियों, I was an MP Lok Sabha in 1989. I was a union minister. आज से 34 साल पहले मैंने आंखों से देखा है मिली जुली सरकारें क्या करती हैं, देश का क्या हाल होता है। आज भी कंपन महसूस करता हूं और बड़ी चिंता में पड़ जाता हूं। When I was in the union government in 1990, our gold had to be taken in physical form to be pledged to 2 Swiss banks to sustain our financial capacity. तब हमारा फॉरेन एक्सचेंज झूल रहा था 1 बिलियन और 2 बिलियन के बीच में US डॉलर्स। आज के दिन ये 600 बिलियन से ज्यादा पार है। कहां थे, कहां आ गए? जमाना बदल गया। आजकल सब कुछ मुमकिन हो रहा है। हो रहा है कि नहीं मुमकिन? और मुमकिन तब होता है जब राष्ट्र को एक मजबूत नेतृत्व मिलता है। वो मजबूत नेतृत्व है जब टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स में भारतीय महिला हॉकी टीम अच्छे प्रयास कर आखिर में सफल नहीं हो पाई, तो देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने हर महिला खिलाड़ी से बात की और कहा, बेटियों आपने बहुत ज्यादा कर दिखाया है, अगली बार और सफलता मिलेगी। मैं उस दृश्य को जब देखता हूं, what a kind of emotive scene। हमारी बच्चियों की आंखों में आंसू थे और चेहरे पर एक चमक थी, we will achieve it। यह है भारत। This is known as spinal leadership that engages in hand holding। किसी ने सोचा था कि भारत 2036 में ओलंपिक की दावेदारी करेगा? किसी ने सोचा था? भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ने पीटी उषा जी की उपस्थिति में इनके एक मीटिंग में ये घोषणा की, इंडिया विल पिच इन फॉर 2036 Olympics। And why not? Our Bharat is home to 1/6 of humanity. हमारे भारत ने जो करिश्मा किया है उसको देखकर दुनिया दंग रह गई है। 2022 में यूके को और फ्रांस को पछाड़कर इंडिया बिकेम द 5th लार्जेस्ट ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी। यह सपना किसी ने देखा नहीं था, जमीनी हकीकत है। और अब बारी किसकी है? जापान और जर्मनी की। My young friends, have it from me, by 2030, India will be the 3rd largest global economy. जब मैंने आपके मास्केट के बारे में जानकारी की, मुझे समझ में आ गया बाइसोन, what a quality the animal has. It has everything which every sports person needs to learn. It will never retrace the step. It will always go forward, and this has been seen. I congratulate all the teams. I congratulate all the winners. But let me tell you, my young friends, every participant is a winner. This is mini India. Your 15 days must have been most memorable time of your life. You would have had the occasion to interact with your friends, north, south, east, west. जब ये कहा गया गोविंद जी ने, Goa is a tiny state. Govind ji, Goa is a tiny state physically. It has a large heart, very large heart. गोवा का दिल इतना बड़ा है कि पूरा भारत समा गया है. Everyone will take from here sweet memories. दूसरे बदलते हुए भारत की तस्वीर देखिए. इस पूरे आयोजन की रीढ़ की हड्डी महिलाएं हैं. Let me tell you, the girls have performed so admirably. Svetika, Geetika, led by Amitabh Sharma ji. They have done a wonderful job. ये हमारी नारी शक्ति की क्लाइमैक्सिंग है. पीटी उषा जी जो नेतृत्व कर रही हैं, that is blossoming all over the country. And no wonder I had the gratifying moment to give awards to more girls than boys. But boys, keep it up. We have to give them challenge. We will. And that is why the nation will move forward. It is time for everyone to take note of what the global icon Vivekananda ji said, I quote him, "Arise, awake and stop, not till the goal is reached," unquote. अमृत काल हमारा गौरव काल है. दुनिया की हर संस्था अचंभित है भारत की प्रगति को देखकर. स्पेस का मामला हो, चंद्रयान 3, where India became the only country on the planet to have landed its vehicle on the south pole of moon. Our ISRO boys and girls has put satellite of developed countries in the space, be it Singapore or USA. What we have done on the ground, in the space, in air, we have our fighter planes manufactured in the country, our fighter helicopters. And who are our pilots? Our girls, they are fighter pilots. They are in combat positions भारत बदल रहा है। और तभी तो हुआ कि इंटरनेशनल मॉनिटरी फंड कहता है कि आज की दुनिया में जहां अर्थव्यवस्था अत्यंत चुनौतीपूर्ण है, बड़े बड़े देशों की अर्थव्यवस्था चरमरा रही है, इंडियन इकोनॉमी is a shining star. India today globally is a hot favorite destination of investment and opportunity. और खेल जगत में हाल में ही हमारा जो प्रदर्शन है वो आज तक का सर्वश्रेष्ठ रहा है. When we look at the other development, the World Bank president came during G20. I was throughout there. What he said, India has a technological penetration, digital economy has become so inclusive within 6 years, which is not possible for 47 years. भारत ने 6 साल में वो कर दिखा दिया जो 47 साल में संभव नहीं है, और ये वर्ल्ड बैंक का प्रेसिडेंट कहता है. और क्यों नहीं कहे? Our digital transactions in 2022 are 4 times the transactions of USA, UK, France and Germany taken together. 4 गुना ज्यादा इन 4 महादेशों से. हमारा इंटरनेट का पर कैपिटा डेटा कंजम्पशन चाइना और यूएस दोनों को मिला लो तो भी ज्यादा है. मुझे आपसे ये कहना है कि आज आप ऐसे भारत में रह रहे हैं जिसका नाम दुनिया में है, जिसके नेतृत्व का दुनिया में असर है. भारत के पासपोर्ट को एक नई नजर से दुनिया देखती है. एंड वी बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स are benefited today by an ecosystem. ऐसी व्यवस्था उत्पन्न की गई है कि हर भारतीय को बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स अपनी प्रतिभा दिखाने का हर अवसर मिलता है, कोई हैंडीकैप नहीं है. मैं राज्य सरकार की प्रशंसा करता हूं कि स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन्स के लिए नौकरी के बारे में अच्छा सोच है. बट फ्रॉम दिस प्लेटफॉर्म I want to make an appeal to the government and to the public sector, to the private sector. You must adopt a sport. You must support sports persons that will do the nation a great, great justice. आज के दिन दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा इवेंट मैनेजमेंट स्पोर्ट्स एक्टिविटी का है. आपने 15 दिन में ये कर दिखाया है. आसान नहीं है और सबसे बड़ा मार्केट एरिया भी है. लेट आवर स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन्स गेट फुलेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड मूव अहेड. मुझे जानकर बहुत खुशी हुई कि आपने यहां नंबर ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स बढ़ाए हैं. वो स्टैटिस्टिक्स है, पर क्वालिटी देखिए. योर फोकस ऑन लगोरी, गटका, ये कितना जबरदस्त कदम उठाया है. ये हमारे ट्रेडिशनल स्पोर्ट्स हैं. आगे देखिए पेनिक, सिलत और सवे, कालियारप्पू, ये केरल के हैं. दूसरा जम्मू एंड कश्मीर का है. इनको ऐड करना हमारी पुरानी संस्कृति को भी जागृत करना है. वो दिन दूर नहीं है when our traditional sports will find place in Olympics. As a matter of fact, I can congratulate the Chief Minister, Dynamic Chief Minister. इन्होंने जो ऑर्गेनाइज किया है वो इंडियन ओलंपिक है. स्केल में, रिक्वायरमेंट में. फ्रेंड्स, कहने को तो बहुत कुछ है, पर I am leaving my heart here today. I am so much touched by Goa climate, Goa human resource, talent of Goa administration, कि I am at the last climax day. कहीं कोई चूक नहीं हुई. ये तो ऐसे ही हो गया जैसे चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता में रॉकेट वुमन का योगदान रहा. इसके लिए every Goan is to be congratulated. This is concerted effort. और मुझे पता लगा है मुख्यमंत्री जी के चेहरे की चमक को देखकर कि गोवा ने भी काफी मेडल जीते हैं. फ्रेंड्स, एक जमाना था कि पेरेंट्स चिंतित हो जाते थे कि बच्चा खेल खेलता है. उनको लगता था बच्चा खेल खेल रहा है तो उसका करियर नष्ट हो जाएगा. स्पोर्ट्स नाउ हैज बिकम अ मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एवेन्यू ऑफ डिस्प्ले ऑफ ह्यूमन जीनियस. और इसी की वजह से जियोपॉलिटिक्स भी इंपैक्ट होती है. कई देशों के नाम हम इसलिए जानते हैं कि वहां का खिलाड़ी विश्व स्तर का है. वी मस्ट देयरफॉर स्ट्राइव. और इसके लिए जो कुछ कदम उठाए हैं, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी दैट द गवर्नमेंट हैज टेकन खेलो इंडिया. बहुत बड़ा कार्यक्रम है. गांव गांव में स्टेडियम आएंगे. मेरे गांव में भी शुरुआत हुई है. स्टेडियम में बच्चे जाएंगे, ट्रैक का उपयोग करेंगे, अपनी प्रतिभा दिखाएंगे. दे विल बी फाइटिंग फिट. इफ इंडिया इज फिट, ओनली देन वी कैन मूव अहेड. पर सबसे बड़ा काम जो केंद्रीय सरकार ने किया है, जो पीटी ऊषा की संस्थान ने किया है, इंडियन ओलंपिक एसोसिएशन ने, एंड दैट इज टारगेट ओलंपिक पोडियम स्कीम. कैच देम अर्ली, ट्रेन देम अर्ली, तभी ये होगा. मैंने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का एक भाषण सुना. उन्होंने एम्फसाइज किया कि किसी भी स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन की प्रतिभा को बिल्कुल शाइनिंग करने के लिए कोच की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका होती है. कोच एक तरीके से द्रोणाचार्य हैं. उनको भी बहुत प्रोत्साहन दिया गया है. The government has taken steps to ensure that our sports person get opportunity of the highest degree of coaching, and the government is sending them abroad also. मेरा आप सबसे यही अनुरोध है. आप स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन हैं, आपको देश के जज्बे का पता है. आप जब कोई मेडल जीतते हैं तो आपके दिल में एक ही बात रहती है विश्व स्तर पर, भारतीयता और भारत. यू मस्ट बिकम मैसेंजर्स, फुट सोल्जर्स टू टेल एवरीवन we will always keep our Bharat above everything else. हम किसी भी परिस्थिति में हमारे देश का नाम नीचे नहीं होने देंगे. We will be proud Indians. We will take pride in our historic achievements. और अंतिम बात ये कहूँगा, नारी शक्ति का जो यहाँ मैंने प्रदर्शन देखा, उसका क्लाइमैक्स भी हो रहा है. ये किसको दी जाएगी मशाल? रेखा आर्य जी को. तो चारों तरफ महिलाओं का नजारा है. बड़ा सूदिंग मोमेंट है, इपोकल डेवलपमेंट है. कभी कल्पना नहीं की कि महिला फाइटर पायलट होगी. ये सब कुछ आप करेंगे. मैम, वी ऑल लुक फॉरवर्ड टू बी इन योर उत्तराखंड, about which the Chief Minister has made very wholesome reflections with high expectations. और जो बेंचमार्क गोवा ने किया है, ऐसा बेंचमार्क P20 में भारत ने कर दिखाया। दुनिया के सब नेताओं ने कहा कि जो देश P20 ऑर्गेनाइज करेगा वो भारत के स्तर पर नहीं आ पाएगा। मेरी आप सबको बहुत शुभकामनाएं। इट्स अ डिफाइनिंग मोमेंट फॉर गोवा, इट्स अ प्राउड मोमेंट फॉर गोवा, इट्स एन accomplishment for the bureaucracy of Goa. It is a feather in the cap of the Chief Minister and his team for having organized it so well. And it's a challenge which Rekha ji has taken. Rekha ji and Dhami ji, they will get guidance from Dr. Chief Minister Samant and the Sports Minister. और ये गुरु मंत्र बताएंगे कि हमसे ज़्यादा कैसे सफल हो। Once again, congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all the participants. Your great gain is that you have participated. Thank you so much. Jai Bharat.
That was Jagdeep Dhankar, Vice President of India, addressing the 37th National Games closing ceremony in Goa.